Hey guys, it's me Paco, and you're watching Bad Witch Books. Guys, how are you doing? I cannot believe that it is already August. So we are filming the July TBR July wrap-up. You don't know how it's already August. If you notice anything about my hair being too much or not right, don't mention it. We're not going to talk about it. That is something we don't talk about. Okay? Okay. Just making sure we're on the same page. But let's get with the stats of the month of July. I have my handy dandy reading journal. So, in the month of July, I read a total of 11 books, and it was 4,113 pages read. I had 4 3-star books and 7 4-star books. So about an average month for me, I believe. And then I had... So I didn't have any 1 stars and 2 stars, which is good. I usually don't because I'm a big DNFer. If I don't feel like it's going to be a 3-star at least, I'm like, yeet, out the window. And I didn't have any 5-star books. There were some that came pretty close, but none that were 5-star. Now, if we are going to compare this video to my July TBR, we are not going to do that. Because we don't believe in self-hate here. We're not going to do that. Because I don't want to look at that, because my TBR got messed up. I got distracted, and I'll tell you what I got distracted by later. So we'll go with the books that were actually on my TBR first. So the first book I read this month was Aquaman Becoming. It was a book that was technically on my June TBR that I never finished, so I finished it in July. And I gave it 3 stars. This is a book about Jackson Holt, current Aqualad, and how he becomes a Aquaman. He gets the title of Aquaman, and it's about how him and his family are from one of the kingdoms of Atlantis, Zebel. It's the same kingdom that Mara is from. And basically Zebel is treated like second-class citizens to Atlantis. And Aqualad is framed for a terrorist attack, basically, on Atlantis. And he runs to Zebel and basically finds conspiracy and shit, and he has to fight it, and he finds his mom is involved in some of it. It has some history with the people, I want to say. I enjoyed it. The art was alright. This is not a character I know a lot about, but I wanted to try to give it a read for Pride Month, and it was enjoyable. It was a 3-star read, so not bad. Not bad at all. The art was really good, like I said. So, the next book I read next month was... It's here somewhere. We're not gonna talk about how I'm not organized. Are we? No, we're not. So the next book I read for the month of July was Witchlings by Claribel A.Ortega. This is a book about our girl Seven. What is her last name? Seven Salazar. She is a young witchling, so basically like a little witch that on the night of the Black Moon celebration, where each witch is supposed to get their like official coven to join, Seven and 2 other girls are put into the Coven of Spares, which is basically like the leftovers. And when you're a spare, you don't get to be as powerful as the other witches. You don't get to like learn advanced magic, and you're kind of treated like a second-class citizen. And Seven does something that like messes up the situation, like the forming of the coven, and so she would become like a failed basically and be a witchling forever, which is even worse than a spare. So Seven and her friends, her 2 new coven sisters, are they do the Great Impossible Challenge, which is a like sacred rite that a witchling can cast challenge, and if they succeed in this challenge, they're allowed to like become their coven is formed, and they are placed. Their mysterious challenge or their like extra challenge is to get this giant beast that's been roaming the area. And it was really cute, really good. If you like Owl House, I highly recommend checking it out. I love Seven as a character. She was really cute, and I think that it had a really good talk about a character dealing with child abuse in this book and how to spot it and what a kid can do to help out the situation in a mature way. Because it's like trigger warnings for mentions of child abuse. You don't actually get to see it, but it is talked about. And I thought the way that was dealt with was very well for a young book for kids. So this is middle grade, and I really enjoyed it. The cover art is beautiful, and I'm excited to see where the series continues. Okay. Let's see. Let's go to the next book. So then, I have this book, the next book I got, but I forgot to grab it, and I am lazy, so I don't want to get up and get it, because it's on a whole other shelf that is, like, behind the camera, and I'm not getting up. So I read Gilded by Marissa Meyer. This book is a Rumpelstiltskin retelling. It is about our main character. She is basically at birth blessed by the god of stories, but also he's also the god of lies, and so she has the ability, or she always like tells these great fanciful stories, and nobody believes that her basically. Like, they're all like, oh, you're lying, or you're telling these stories. Like, the kids love her, but that's really it. Everybody else in the village thinks she's kind of a curse. They don't trust her because, like, once you're a liar, it's easy to believe that you're anything else. And it was alright. This is a 3-star book for me. I will give trigger warning of child death. And even though it is not on page, it is still quite gruesome. So, trigger warning for that. Because I did not see that coming. And even I was like, ooh. But it's really good. It did give a full... I wouldn't say really good. It was good. And it gave a full wintry vibe. Like, I would like to read this in the winter. I will probably pick up the sequel to see where it goes. And it was alright. I enjoyed it. Okay, so the next book I read in July is Zachary Ying and the Dragon Emperor by Xiran Jay Zhao. This is about our young main character. This is another middle grade about our young kid named Zachary Ying. He is a Chinese immigrant from China. And one day he and his friends meet this new boy transfer student, and shit happens. Like, he basically gets possessed by the first emperor of China, and so the book is comped or described as Percy Jackson meets Chinese history meets Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm also going to throw in a little bit of the Fate Stay Universe, Stay Night, or whatever, if you watch those animes, because it gave that vibe as well. I really enjoyed it. I was also not expecting it to be queer, which I loved. It wasn't like super, like, it was really cute. Hero was. But it was really good. Middle grade. I think I enjoyed I gave this like 4.5 stars. Really enjoyed this. Really like Zachary Ying as a character and his viewpoint. I enjoyed it a lot. The action was pretty good. The world building was fun. So I would highly recommend this out, especially if you like folklore, or like legends, because I really enjoyed this. And I love Yu-Gi-Oh! R.I.P. to the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh! Rest in peace. The next book I read in July is These Feathered Flames by Alexandra Overy. If I said that wrong in the comments, correct me. This is the first book in a duology, I believe, and this is about two sisters who, when they were young, one was chosen to be the Firebird, and one was chosen to be the Queen, or the Queen to be like the princess, basically, the Crown Princess, and they're then separated and raised separately, and like raised to become their roles. And then when the current queen dies, the two sisters meet up again and have to undercover what the fuck happened. Really intriguing story. I thought the sister dynamic was fun. I really liked Iziveta, her ruthlessness, and I liked the like whole plot with the other sister. I buddy read this with Helen. Shout out to Helen. If you want to read the sequel, let me know. I'm down. But I really enjoyed it. The world was fun. They rode bears, which was cool. Like, instead of horses, they would ride bears, which was just fun to imagine. And the world building was really, really interesting. And the magic system was fun. So that was a 4-star read. Next book. Give me a second here. Okay. So, we're going to talk about, before I get to my next two books I have right here, what I got distracted by. Was not on my TBR, but that was X-Men. I got back into my comic book shit. I have not been reading comics super, like, a lot this year, as much as I was hoping to, and a bitch got back on it. Mainly because of the Cerebral podcast, which I started listening to, has been getting me on my X-Men shit, and so I've been deep diving into it on some recommendations from that podcast. So the first X-Men, like, comic or like bind up trade I read was the first volume of New Mutants by Chris Claremont. This is about a group of new mutants, new students to the Xavier School. You have Roberto, Danny Moonstar, Cannonball, I forget Sam, I believe is his name, Karma, Rain. I think that's our first group. I think it's those 5. But basically, they are all mutants, so they all have the X gene, and they all have special powers. And they are then, like, because of circumstances, all meet up at the Xavier School, and they go on adventures. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I gave it 3 stars. I will say, if you do read this, it is of its time, and there are some things that, because this book did take place, like, I believe in the 80s, some things that are not as okay to say are due now. So, one did have me cracking up, and I'm going to hell for that, but if you want to know what had me laughing, message me. But, I really enjoyed it. I want to get more into Danny Moonstar's character. I think she's really intriguing, and so I want to read her stories. I will probably continue with the New Mutants. I stopped, like, this is the only volume I read this month, but I will probably continue more in the future. So the next series, I did read these back to back while I was reading other books, so I'm going to do a review of the whole series right now, and that was Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3 of Grant Morrison's New X-Men. This is a series, it takes place in 2002, that's when it happened, and it is, this is the complete series in 3 volumes. I really enjoyed it. Basically, it starts off when Cassandra Nova, who is Charles Xavier's evil twin sister, commits genocide on the mutant nation of Genosha, and like 16 million mutants are killed. And Emma Frost is the lone survivor, and shit happens after that. Like, they have to deal with Cassandra Nova, they have to take care of her, and then you get some, like, that's one of the first arcs, and then another arc you deal with basically Charles Xavier outing the school of what it is, of like that the school is a place for mutants, and them dealing with the consequences of that. And then you also then have some stuff with Magneto shows up near the end, and then we get a future timeline, and it was really interesting. I really love this because Emma Frost is my favorite Marvel character, I believe, and this had a lot of really good Emma Frost moments. I mean, this is the book that like turned her from villain to hero, I believe, or like this was the final step into her being a hero, and I really enjoyed it. She had some amazing lines. Like, what was one of them that really, I don't know. I love Emma Frost, and this had some really good Emma moments. And it also, like, even though I'm not a huge Jean fan, it did have some fun Jean moments. And I think one of the strongest points of the book is the character dynamic and, like, comparison, contrastion of Emma Frost and Jean Grey, of how Jean Grey, like, when you look at these two characters, Jean Grey is your nice, she's the girl next door, and Emma Frost is the, like, bitchy, slutty, mean girl. But when you get into these characters, which Grant Morrison, they do, you learn more that Emma's not as mean and cold, and Jean isn't so nice, and I think that was really good dynamic. I also really liked the stuff it said about like hatred kind of with it, and stuff. I thought it was really cool and interesting, and yeah, so I enjoyed that. That was a really good read. I suggest that series. It is all on Kindle Unlimited, so check it out if you want. Had some really funny Emma moments. Okay. That not tangent, because it was 3 books, and they were all like 4 stars. I think the second volume or the first was 4.5. But, okay. Now that we got past that, we are going to go to the book club books I had read this month. So for the first book club I had, which is one I go to in person, is with the library in my area. The book was Together We Burn by Isabella Baezes. This is a book inspired by Spain, and instead of bullfighters, it has to do with dragonflies fighters, basically a flamingo dancer, after her father, who is a famous conquistador, I believe, after he is hurt and their family name is like in ruins, she has to take up her father's legacy and become a dragon fighter. And it was really interesting. I enjoyed it more towards the end. I mean, it's 3 stars. I don't know if I'll read anything else by this author, but I enjoyed it. Okay, so that was my book club pick. For my Enchanted Forest book club, don't look for the live, because I put that unlisted because, like, I was having a lot of technical difficulties during it, and I cut it short because, like, my Wi-Fi went out during it, so that I might redo a live show about it. I don't know, though, because my schedule is hectic. But The Jasmine Throne was my book club pick, and this is about 2 girls. More than 2 girls, but our main 2 characters are Priya, who is a maidservant, and what is the princess's name? Malini? She is the princess who is sent to this tower by her brother, who basically wants her dead. And it's these 2 meet, and shit happens, and, like, Malini learns that Priya is special, and she gets a bargain with her, and I really enjoyed it. I liked the cultural aspects. I love my girl Bhumika. I'm a Bhumika stan. She can do no wrong in my eyes, unless something happens in the next book that I don't know about. But I really enjoyed it. I liked the magic system was fun. I liked the religions in here and how they, like, corresponded and wove together. I thought that was really interesting. And the court intrigue or whatever was really fun in here. I really enjoyed it. 4 stars, really good. I'm excited for the sequel. Whew. Okay. I'm glad I got that done. That is what I read this month. What did you guys read? How many books did you read? What was your favorite? My favorite, like, of the physical books I read, or audiobooks, would be probably The Jasmine Throne, or Zachary Ying and the Dragon Emperor, and the Grant Morrison X-Men stuff. I really enjoyed. So let me know what you guys read. Like I said, I do new videos every Friday. I do reading sprints on Monday and reading vlogs on Wednesdays. So I will see you guys next time.